This is going to be the best show ever. That's why the devil is trying to stop you in your tracks, telling you you're not good enough, telling you that you don't have what it takes, telling you to go ahead and just give up, that not a thing that you're doing matters. And we all know that's not the truth, America. And you know, I didn't want to shortchange anybody, because not everyone knows my story. And they just think I might just be this guy who just decided to want to be some self-help coach, jump online, but really doesn't know my background. And so I want to give you my qualifications, kind of in a Cliff's Note today, where I came from, how I kind of became the addict that I found myself as most of my adult life. You know, that pinnacle moment where I decided that enough was enough. And, you know, and then finally what I have become, and to this day, coming up on to my year anniversary next week. But unfortunately, that's where my journey started, because not even a year and a half out of the womb, my mother passed away from a tragic accident. Mom, you know, she had a lot of boyfriends, man, and one of these boyfriends was a sick individual. And I was a victim of sexual abuse at 6 years old. Man, I remember the pajamas I was wearing. There were those yellow footed pajamas that zipped all the way up, you know what I mean? Detailed shit, just the kind of stuff that just, it don't go away. And I remember the day, I was 14 years old, and I come home from school, but I had to, you know, I came home and Mom's at the table crying her eyes out. And she's like, I got something to tell you. I couldn't believe the words that she was telling me, that this person who's sitting across, that I've known my whole life as my mother, this ain't my mom. That in all reality, that I don't know anything about me. And you know, folks, that just absolutely sent me into a spiral of emotional wreck. So, you know, I mean, that carries me through my 30s. And between the 20 and 30, I ended up becoming a full-blown alcoholic, drinking on a daily, all-day basis, and had a daughter, Jessica. And man, she was just my heart, you know what I mean? And I was just a piece of shit. And you know, I just totally screwed the pooch on that and ended up missing the next 18 years of my daughter's life because of these actions. When I was breaching into my 40s, I was never closer to suicide, self-destruction, absolute abandonment for my well-being or anybody else around me. I was so mad at God because I'd been getting my life together. And so I looked for something that was gonna kill me, and I started smoking methamphetamine. I end up in my 42, I go to prison for 2 years. I don't think I even did 90 days. All my shit was stupid drunk stuff. This time I was going to prison, and it ended up costing me everything. Those 2 years, it was like I walked in, Jesus grabbed my hand. He said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Mama Janice had passed away, and the only thing that I had left was a $100 bill and the clothes on my back, coming out of Mansfield, Ohio. No, my calling has got to be more, excuse me, than just being a fuck up. So I did something about it. The next morning I woke up and I just could not stop shaking. And I'm like, man, I'm going to fucking rehab. I didn't have no insurance. I didn't know what to do. I love you guys, for sure, for sure. I went down there and detoxed. I detoxed for a week, and then I got into a program called the Hughes Reentry Program. And what they do is they teach you about why you are an alcoholic or an addict, how to fix those cognitive thinking patterns for the right, how not to be a repeat impulse behavior specialist. Just a great, great program. You know, I've got 6 months sober in, 5 months sober. Never had that in my life. And super just duper amped about my sobriety, and was always just knew that relapse was not going to be part of my recovery journey. You know, that's my driving force. I don't know if I messed up again, that God would ever give me another shot like he's given me now. So it takes all the what ifs, one mores, and shoots them right out the window, man. There's just no other options. You know, I was visualizing my goals. I would vocalize my dreams, you know, talk about them like they've already happened. Behave like they've already happened. Start dressing like you're already that man. You know, a big thing was writing them down every morning, saying them out loud. It's a discipline thing, but this is a disciplined life. Come on now, giving it your best at your job, knocking it out of the ballpark, keeping all that negativity out of your circle, eliminating who's not up to par with where you're going with your success. You know, I mean, it was just small things like that led to monumental leaps and bounds. I just got to have the balls to go get it. Tim proceeded to give one of the best speeches and motivational ruhas that I've heard in a long time. And it was exactly on what I needed to hear about making content, about growing that relationship with your audience, picking your audience, you know, the heart that you make your content with. Because I woke up the next day and I feel like I was hit by an absolute Mack truck, you know, and then it was the craziest thing, because what is about to encrypt in my life is just raw dog, the best the devil that could come up with to attack me, to deter me from my path. I'm talking about depression, the woe is me's. Why is this happening? Is what I'm doing working? So I sat there and just analyzed myself and couldn't figure it out till I was walking my laps and it hit me and I was like, oh, okay. I see what this is now. I kind of knew the devil would be wanting to knock me off my horse, try to get me at that last mile point of this monumental mile marker. The only thing I had to do was just look at it different, from a different perspective. And folks, let me tell you, that perspective these are challenges that I welcome. And you know, at a drop of a hat, the minute that I realized that, everything got better. And it was a conscious decision that I was going to do everything within my power to love as many people and as much as I can. Whatever I can do, whether it be holding a door, whether it be saying hi to someone at the coffee station, or whatever. Love is the greatest power we have. I'll always say that because it's the truth. You gotta watch yourself. You gotta know your character, know when you're out of character, and be willing to have the discipline and the balls to put yourself back in check. Know that there's no problems or situations that are too big that cannot be handled. There's only one situation that you can't come back from, and that's death. Turn these challenges into experiences. No matter what the situation, you can pull something positive out of it. I know what I must do in order to reach where I'm heading. And this is it. I know that what we talked about today is going to help launch you into the best version of you. Be blessed, be a blessing, spread grins and make friends. I love you, America. Have a good morning.